So, are you someone who loves metal but hates blasphemous and satanic lyrics? Well, these bands are for you. Here are 10 Christian metal bands. So, it's time to say, to hell with the devil. Okay, what is Christian metal? It's not really a genre because Christian metal can be thrash, it can be glam, it can be death, it can be technical thrash, it can be progressive, it can be black, it can be technical death, thrash, black, doom, or any combination thereof. The bands all write lyrics with a common theme, which is Christianity and the Bible. So, which means the lyrics will be free of any kind of blasphemy or Satanism and things like that. So maybe you don't like it, or maybe you're the kind of person who really only prefers to listen to Christian metal, or you're interested in learning about new bands for any other reason. I'm going to go through 10 bands that I like a lot. I started listening to recently. Okay, here's the first band. Check them out. Okay, the first band I'm going to cover is Tourniquet. I love this band. It's thrash, a little bit of death, mixed with a lot of like classical music. A very original band. A lot of these Christian bands tend to be a little derivative of other secular bands, but definitely not these guys. This band is very original. They have 11 studio albums. Really great band. They were founded by Ted Kirkpatrick. He's a drummer. So definitely, if you're a fan of progressive metal, thrash metal, heavy metal, or classical music, definitely check him out. Okay, this next band is Deliverance. These are a great band. Thrash metal, speed metal. Their first two albums are reminiscent of Metallica or Testament. After that, they changed their style a little, got a little bit more maybe progressive, changed their vocal style, sounding a little bit more like David Bowie, a little strange, but really it worked really good. They have 11 albums. They've been out for a long time, so definitely check them out. Okay, this next band is Vengeance Rising. This band was definitely groundbreaking at the time. Super heavy thrash metal, like really heavy, like maybe like Creator or Venom, but they were Christian bands, which was different because most of the Christian music at the time was like more of a hard rock, hair metal variety, like Striper, Holy Soldier, those types of bands. So again, this band was very heavy. They released 4 albums. Okay, there's some sort of controversy with this band. The singer, he was a Christian, then he became an atheist, then he moved to like Satanism. People may wonder whether or not this is a Christian band, but definitely their first album, Vengeance Rising, Human Sacrifice, it is a thrash classic. The lyrics are biblical, really great album. Check them out. Okay, this band, Theocracy, great band. It's a power metal band, and I don't even like power metal. I mean, it's not my preferred subgenre of metal, but I mean, this band is great. Surface, they sound like maybe like Blind Guardian, Primal Fear, but you hear a lot of Iron Maiden, or there are some heavy parts in the songs, like they go into like some Metallica territory. Their albums are great. They got some like long songs. 4 albums. They've been out since 2003. The lead singer, Matt Smith, the first album, he recorded it all by himself. Then he had a band. But really great, progressive, power metal. One of the best bands on this list, definitely. Okay, this next band, Demon Hunter. Really great band. More of a modern sound, kind of like a new metalcore band. Very melodic. Their songs can be maybe on the ballad side or on the heavy side. They kind of have like this soft and hard mix with their songs. But again, it's a great band. They got 10 studio albums. Definitely check them out. Okay, next is Eternal Decision. They only have like 3 albums. They came out late 90s, early 2000s. But great band. They sound like Metallica, maybe Pantera band, and worth checking out. Okay, this next band is Mortification. This band is super heavy, death metal, like grindcore, reminiscent of like Obituary or Carcass. Bands like that. Scrolls of the Megaloth came out in 1992. It was groundbreaking at the time. They've been releasing albums since then. Their music may have changed a little bit, maybe gone a little bit more into a thrash metal direction or into other metal styles, but definitely one of the heaviest bands at that time. Great band. They have many studio albums. Check them out. Okay, this next band is Living Sacrifice. Super heavy. Their first few albums were straight ahead thrash metal, maybe reminiscent of like Slayer. In the 90s, they kind of evolved into a more maybe metalcore sound, maybe groove metal, but definitely a great band. The later albums remind me of, for me, it reminds me of like Sepultura. But these guys are heavy, definitely a great band. Check them out. Okay, this next band is Barren Cross. These guys get compared a lot to Iron Maiden, mainly because their lead singer really sounds a lot like Bruce Dickinson. Other than that, I don't really feel they're much like Iron Maiden. I feel them more of a hard rock, maybe a hair metal type of sound. It's a good band. They were mostly active in like the late 80s, early 90s, but I like them a lot. They talk a lot about social issues. They have songs about like abortion and suicide and different topics. So again, really good band. Check them out. Okay, this next band is Sacred Warrior. Really good band, reminiscent of like early Queensryche. They were active in like the late 80s, early 90s. They had another album come out in 2013. Definitely a good band, heavy, like a classic 80s, classic heavy metal style. Definitely worth checking out. Okay, that's all I'm going to cover for today. Those 10 bands, there are hundreds more. If there are any bands you would like me to cover in part 2, leave it in the comment section down there. And the first 10 bands that fall within the realm of Christian music, so don't put Danzig or Deicide or Slayer or anything like that. But if it's a Christian band, I'll cover it in my next video for Christian metal. Hopefully I'll do a part 2 soon. And before I go, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I upload every day, maybe every other day, but definitely I want to get a lot of videos out there. If you're a fan of rock and metal, definitely subscribe. And if you want to contact me on my social media, JC Rock and Metal Reviews on Facebook, you can look it up. There's a link in my page description under the About section. And that's all for now. Again, keep watching, and I'll be back soon.